Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Gen Politics. So, some good news this week. A new law has gone into effect in Virginia, which now requires people to verify their age in order to access pornographic material. The law requires that those who enter any of these adult websites must provide a license or any other state documentation that proves they're over the age of 18. And if a company has not integrated this age verification technology, they can be found liable for breaking the law. Now, this is awesome. It's a huge step forward in the fight against pornography. And what's good is it isn't the first state to do this. Similar laws have been made in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, and Utah. But the most relevant to this conversation is the one that happened in Utah, because similar events are taking place in Utah and Virginia. Since the announcement of the age verification in both states, Pornhub, one of the leading pornographic websites, has decided to ban the website from being accessed in either of these states. So if you have an IP address in Virginia or Utah, you'll not be allowed to access this material. The law only dictates that users must be 18 years or older. Anyone who is older than 18 is allowed to access these websites. So why did Pornhub pull out of these certain states? Well, they did it as a form of protest. As an article by the Daily Mail says, Pornhub pulls out of Virginia, blocking users in the state from accessing its website in protest over new state law. Virginians are no longer able to access one of the world's most popular websites as Pornhub announces a ban in response to a new law taking effect. The law mandates pornography websites verify the age of their users before granting access with the aim of preventing children accessing such content. Pornhub argues that the law actually puts children and user privacy at greater risk as it could lead people to seek out sites with fewer safety measures. So they're doing this as a form of protest in order to encourage people to change these laws so that they continue providing pornographic material with no age verification to anybody who wishes to access it, which we've seen is incredibly damaging. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to this country and the world in general, and it has innumerable negative effects on anybody who uses it. So the fact that some of these states are really taking legislative matters to at least push this ball in the right direction is astounding. Now, Pornhub is finding issue with this. And two of the main arguments that both Pornhub and its users have against this new legislation is that, one, it'll become less safe because people will use websites with less protections. And two, you're not going to stop people from using it anyways because they can just use VPNs that put them in another state or outside the country in general. So the first argument falls flat because it's saying that people will use other less safe websites. Well, these websites aren't safe. There's no regulation that actually proves that you have to be of legal age in order to watch these videos. They have the little box that ticks up and says, "Are you 18, yes or no?" Well, everyone's going to say yes, regardless of age. And the fact that that's not enforced, even if someone lies, proves that there's no real safety regulations in place. And then continue with that argument to argue that these websites are safe is just not true. It was proven a couple years ago that Pornhub was filled with hundreds of videos that were either illegally obtained or featured illegal content, and they were making money off these videos. And so to say that that's a moral company and that there's less safe websites out there, the whole argument is founded on we're slightly less bad than these other websites, and therefore we're good. And that's not how that works. Something that's slightly less bad than something else does not make it good. So these are all just empty words by Pornhub to make themselves seem like they're a moral entity, which is certainly not the case. The second argument is that people will still get access to pornography who are under the age of 18 because they have the use of VPNs. Well, the average age of porn exposure is 11, and it's been going down. So young kids probably don't know how to access VPNs. Even if they do, and hopefully parents will be able to make sure VPNs are not allowed on family devices, that they can regulate things like that. Parents should be doing that anyways in the fight against pornography, regulating content filters and such. But the thing is, it's not foolproof. No one's making that argument. But it's putting another hurdle in the way of children accessing this adult content. With these websites banned to those who are not 18, a child who is 10 years old cannot just look up the word boob and end up with a crippling porn addiction. You're putting hurdles in the way, so there has to be a very solid active pursuit of these things. It's not an accidental falling into this habitual degrading activity, which has been the case with most people. You're not 10 years old and seeking out to watch hardcore pornography. You end up on the slippery slope that comes from your ability to access material basically uninhibited. So this is a great step in the right direction. I'm glad to see that it's happening, and they're happening one after another. States are passing this legislation. And is it perfect? No. Will it help? Certainly. This is a fight that we're going to keep fighting. And it's something that needs to be stated. Porn is one of the worst things happening in our generation. It's one of the worst things that's impacting our people. But for now, let's take this as a victory. Let's savor it. And let's keep pushing forward to protect our children from the evils of this world. Now that you've heard what I think, please let me know what you think down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.